Hey everybody.
Hey, happy no victory Monday, no victory Tuesday, but hey guys, we just got to jump right into it. We got some breaking news. I haven't seen this reported out to the public yet. I think this is breaking news exclusive to Two in the Teal. Um Travis Hunter is going to be out for the season with he ended up getting knee surgery on the LCL. Hey, Ethan, Marcus, how did two big dumb fat idiots like you get this exclusive breaking news?
Yeah,
We had the same knee surgeon. It's right down the street.
he's right down the
Uh,
street. He told us, actually, we were waiting to get on the podcast till after it happened, but we knew the moment that he went down for it. So this is
yeah,
extremely exclusive.
yeah.
If you saw it anywhere else, they lied to you.
They lied to
This
you. They
is
didn't know that was a guess.
Yeah, this is where it actually is coming from.
Yeah. So what happened is sometimes I sit outside of the hospital just waiting for
Yeah.
NFL players to walk by, and I saw Travis Hunter, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, what are you doing here at 5:30 in the morning? And he said he was getting his knee worked on, and he's done for the year. And I said, wow. So yeah.
It's a shame.
Not good, man.
No.
We'll talk about the Texans game in a second, but when you trade away a second round pick that wasn't pick, 55, it was pick like 38, I think, 34, because oh my God, hello, math. It was like 37.
Yep.
And a first round pick in the following draft, knowing very well you're probably a 9-win team, and that's going to be a pretty good first round pick. When you trade up for a wide receiver corner who weighs a $170 soaking wet, and it was a non-contact knee injury, so that was a little mean, but not good, Marcus.
No, and when you put all of your chips in one basket, Ethan, and then it crumbles before your eyes, and it's not good. I mean, what we could have had two top tier picks this year, and now we're sitting there with our hands up, saying, what do we do now? Well, you just got to hope that he really comes back next year ready to play and in good shape. And I mean, all we can do is hope, right? Like, but the season, it's not tanked because he's gone. In my opinion, I
Right.
think that he is a very impressive player, and he plays a really crucial part of our team. But we've been through worse as Jags fans. So let's just put it that way.
We sure have. And I obviously hindsight is 2020, and nobody was predicting he'd blow his knee the first year. It's not a blown knee. They said in 6 months he'll be at 100%. It's just for the season. It's just timing.
We're halfway there.
So
yeah.
if we make the Super Bowl, he might be able to. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So
no. That's a very realistic thing.
I just want to revisit this last draft and just do a little man, if we could go back, I would stay at 5 and draft Armand Membu, the offensive tackle who went to the Jets, who at least a week or two ago I read has given up 0 pressures this season, rookie tackle.
Wow.
I also was really liking that Tyler Warren tight end, who top 5 tight end in the league already. Took him 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I mean, that's unbelievable. Yeah. And then if we had stuck with that second round pick, who was available to us? So Nick Eamon-Wari went the pick before. I would have really liked him. Quinshawn Judkins was taken with that pick.
He's good.
Luther Burden. Just some good dudes went that you sit here and you wonder, would we have been better off if we had Tyler Warren and Quinshawn Judkins on the team right now, or Membu and Quinshawn Judkins? Like, hindsight's 2020, and with our first round pick coming up here, I felt it that, and Marks, we might have talked about this before, but when Gladstone was going we're not going to flinch, we're going to show the world that we're not afraid to be bold, I go, right, was that to make the roster better, or was that for you to prove some weird personal point that you have?
It was like it's starting. I guess it seems like it was kind of like a statement. It was kind of like, hey, we're young and we're in the front office and we're piloting the ship now. Let's do something crazy and make everybody go, what the heck? That's insane. Keep in mind that Travis Hunter is a fantastic football player.
Really
so
good, real good.
So I mean, whether or not it was good or bad, we don't really know. All those players could have came to Jacksonville and sucked,
Exactly. Yeah.
in our system. I just don't know. What I do know is Travis Hunter is a good player, and we just got screwed that now he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Is he not our best receiver and our best corner? And now we've lost
Easy.
both of those positions. And
Easily. Yeah, we're
yeah.
in bad shape.
So obviously on paper, this is a rough looking trade now.
Yes. All your
I'm
chips in a basket.
surprised, Baselli loved this. He loved, well, we traded up for the best player. And I kind of pause and I go, they say the best receiver in the draft. I go, right. What if he was in last year's draft with Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas, and Romo Dunze? Where would he have stacked up with them? The best
Right.
corner. He's great corner. I'm going to be riding with him all day as corner. And let me use that to get into this Texans game. I was there live. I had real good seats, was able to come across some real good seats on the house. It was really lovely. Thank you to my cousin Dara. And Derek Stingley, I think he should be arrested for domestic terrorism for what he did to me on Sunday. I'm not going to freak out too much about Sunday because I think what happened is Derek Stingley, Danielle Hunter, and Will Anderson are so outrageously better than anybody on the Jacksonville Jaguar roster, maybe except Ross Mastick, who I saw get in multiple altercations throughout the game. He was talking crap to everybody on every kickoff.
Don't forget about Cam Little.
And I got to watch him warm up during halftime.
Oh, nice.
We were sitting right there, and my buddy, who doesn't know squat about football, was sitting next to me. He just goes like, "Yo, you're a kicker." He goes, when you see Rory McIlroy hit shots that you're like, how do you do that? How do you get that elevation on the ball? How does the ball go that high and that far? It's an amazing thing. It really is. I thought it was a great way to say it. It's like Rory McIlroy playing golf. It was amazing.
Dude, it's almost like he's got like a steel plate in his shoe or something.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing. And look, I know they were missing CJ Stroud. We had the game locked up. I think it was just a simple matter of their defensive line mixed with us losing some guys on O-line. It's hard to see this stuff live, but Anton Harrison went down. Walker Little went down. BTJ, Travis Hunter were already gone. Both the top two tight ends are gone. And I know they were missing their quarterback, so people don't want to hear it from me. But when you have a backup quarterback, it's what keeps happening to Jake Browning. He goes, I'm not going to overcomplicate this. I'm going to throw the ball to Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
I'm not going to overcomplicate. I'm going to throw it to Jamar and T. Higgins. And all those guys are drastically better than any of the defenders we have. I just saw outside of quarterback, a way better roster, and the gap between Trevor Lawrence and Davis Mills apparently isn't that wide, but I thought there's nothing Trevor can do. He had 0 seconds to do anything. Those guys, Trevor made a potentially game-winning play, got called back for hands to the face, so all that ugly, and we were a hands to the face away from Cam Little having a shot for a 62-yarder to end the game on a win. I'm not going to freak out too much. The defense was gassed in the fourth quarter, and, I think it checks out. Yeah, we're about an 8-9 win team.
You nailed it, Ethan. I mean, and it drives me nuts when everybody's like, how did this guy carve us up? 26, points. So what you're telling me is that an NFL team did their job, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to get hot and ride the high.
Right.
That's literally their job. And when you can't step up to the occasion and answer the call, and when your offense gets an opportunity to get out there and move down the field and take some time off the clock in the fourth quarter, Ethan.
Yes. Yeah.
And you go 3 and out, 2 back-to-back 3 and outs, Ethan. Like everybody's saying, oh, the defense, they blah blah blah. We knocked them down in the first half, pretty well. We were dominating the game on defense in the first half.
Marcus, there was no energy in that stadium going into the fourth quarter.
Right. So to sit there and say this is all on the defense, we have to reevaluate everything. Sure, we have to take a look at the defensive line, absolutely. But no, when you go back-to-back 3 and outs in the fourth quarter to secure the ball game, you can't move an offense 10 yards over two attempts. The problem is way bigger than just our defense didn't play well in the fourth quarter is what I'm trying to say. And I've got a correlation for you. So today's Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans.
Thank you, Marcus.
You're welcome. And thank you for saying that. And the day before was the Marine Corps birthday.
Yeah.
And
happy birthday.
Thank you. In 1775, the Marine Corps was born in a bar called Tun Tavern in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it was when we were starting to get away from the British rule and all their taxation and them stepping on our throats, right? And so they decided that they were going to make this club called Marines, and these guys were farmers, they were blacksmiths, they were woodworkers. These were not soldiers, okay? But in the beginning, they lost a lot of battles, Ethan. But in the end, they became known as the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen.
Yep.
And that's because they win wars and they let go of the lost battles. And so all I can say is moving forward, we just have to continue to have that mindset where we lose these big games. And I saw a coach talking about this, and it was really enlightening, and it gave me a breath of fresh air where he was like, this happened, moving on, scheming
Got
up
the
the next
Chargers.
thing,
Yep.
because the ultimate goal is much larger than just 1 week. But you can't help but as a fan just be mortalized when we blow a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter.
No, yeah, it's awful. The 6 of the 20 were that walk-off fumble. I mean,
Yeah.
that could have it was a
Sure.
20-point lead. I mean, that was whatever. But
You're
I,
absolutely right.
I will say, before I get into a little bit more of the game, if I told you in April or in June or whatever, hey, so we're gonna start 5-4 with wins over the Panthers, dumb loss to the Bengals, 3-game winning streak here, Texans, 49ers, Chiefs on Monday Night
So
Football against the
impressive.
Chiefs, lost to the Seahawks, whacked by the whacked by the Rams in London. Good lord. Beat the Raiders, and we split
Whacked
with the
by the
Texans.
Londons.
So 5-4 with wins over the 49ers and the Chiefs, and we split with the Texans. That's fine. And let me tell you what I also saw on Sunday is the difference between stacked years of really good drafting and stacked years of not very good drafting. The
Yeah,
Texans, that's homegrown talent. Outside of Daniil Hunter,
sure.
that is homegrown drafted talent. The
Yeah.
Jaguars are pieced together because of all the bad drafting. We go Will Anderson. They traded a first-round pick up for Will Anderson. That's who you trade a first-round pick and move up in the draft for is Will Anderson. They signed Daniil Hunter, but outside of that, it's their linebackers, Toa, the Alabama guy. That's a draft pick. Derek Stingley was sitting right there. They drafted him 3 overall. Kamari Lassiter, that's a draft pick. Their safeties, they're all draft picks. Like, that's homegrown talent.
Yeah.
Our defensive line, run through the defensive line. Josh Hines-Allen, who everyone is mad at right now, I think he gets chipped, doubled, getting no help from anybody else. He had his best seasons when Trayvon was getting his 10 sacks. And anyways, but then you
Well,
go after
when
that, it's
Trayvon's
like,
playing bad, they're going to put all of their attention on Josh Hines-Allen. It makes sense.
what if Aiden Hutchinson was opposite of Josh Hines-Allen? I wonder what Josh Hines-Allen would look like then. And, I mean, Marcus, it's like
Free.
you look at the Texans on Nico Collins. They signed Dalton Schultz, but Nico Collins, these receivers coming out of nowhere. Woody Marks, this running back. I'm like, that's all good drafting. Whereas I have a hard time coming up with our draft picks.
Yeah, man. You're absolutely right. And I also want to talk about a little bit on how Trayvon Walker got free a couple of times, and that one sack that he had where he just absolutely clobbered the quarterback with his face
Yeah.
mask. And it's do we get rid of him? Is it possible?
The Eagles traded a 3rd-round pick for Jalen Phillips from Miami. What if they offered us a 2 for Trayvon? I mean, and he's a good player and all
Yeah.
that, but it was like Trent Baalke was addicted to drafting height, weight, speed without thinking, do they have a sense for the football field? Do they understand where they're
Exactly.
going? We have a safety, Antonio Johnson. He's a great special teams player, but it's clip after clip of him looking lost out there. And
Yeah.
it's just like this natural innate thing where he's big, he's fast, he's strong, but he breaks on stuff too late, sitting out in open space by himself. The Raiders game, he lost Tyler Lockett in the back of the end zone, and Devon Hamilton bailed him out by swatting the pass
Yeah.
down. And it's like, those are our draft picks. Our draft picks look lost. I mean,
Right.
and it goes back to, I always say we've not recovered from the 2020 draft where we had the number 9 overall pick and we took CJ Henderson. He's not in the league.
That's insane.
Guys who are available with that number 9 overall pick include Tristan Wirfs, CeeDee Lamb.
Oh
I mean,
my
the
gosh.
list goes on. And then we took Caleb Chason, who, by the way, has 6.5 sacks this season with the Patriots.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Wow, no, I didn't. That's
We
insane.
we released him 2 years ago. He did his 3 years here, and we let him go because he wasn't playing well
Wow.
here. And he has 6.5 sacks this season. I think the Jaguars as a team have like 7,
If that.
if that. And I mean, but guys who are available there, Justin Jefferson went 1 pick later. Patrick Queen, the better of the LSU linebackers, went a couple picks later. We haven't recovered from that.
Dude,
And then our second round pick that year, Marcus, was Laviska Shenault. Hello?
Wow.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
I know.
And I know hindsight is 2020, but it's like the Texans stacked good years of drafting. We've stacked bad years of drafting. Even
Very
this
bad.
draft, Travis Hunter hurt, no second round pick. The third round pick, they're both hurt. The fourth round picks are Bashal Tootin, who's a real nice backup
Yeah.
running back.
Oh,
Real
yeah, I
nice
like
backup
him.
running back.
I like
Great
him a
return,
lot.
man.
Yeah.
LaQuint Allen, real nice RB3. I think
Sure.
it's great. We need another draft or two. It was my
Yeah.
takeaway from the game. Is I just looked out there and I said, we are nowhere near talented enough to have penalties and just come out and not play well. Nowhere near.
Yeah. We're I feel like when we start winning games, we start to lose sight of the fact that like we're in rebuild mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay because, you know, we're thinking like, no, we're here, we're good enough. You know, we beat the 49ers, we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. There's good all around. Don't get me wrong. So as fan base and you know, as us co-hosts on Two in the Teal, we got to just remember that we're still here to look forward to the next couple of years with this
Yeah.
brand new coaching staff who's still learning. And, you know, I even saw a couple of plays on Sunday where I was like, Coach, what are we doing, man? Like
Yeah.
we've got opportunities to go get in the end zone or
Yeah.
put Trevor in a position to make an easy dump pass on a check down when we know they're sending the house in the fourth quarter there to get the ball back. And, you know, we just got to keep focusing on, let's just keep moving in the right direction. And like you were saying earlier, we are in the right direction, Ethan. We never would have guessed. I mean, I said we would go undefeated, but you and Quint never would have guessed that we would have, you know, had this kind of a record moving forward, you know? And so
No.
some of the wins that we've had were great. I mean, really impressive stuff of just managing the football game. And so we just got to, you know, keep working on closing, keep our focus on how do we put the players in the best position to be successful and, you know, try to get the ball in the hands of the right guys. And it's such a shame that we don't have BTJ right now. You know, we haven't had him all season, if we're being honest, dude. That's a shame.
And that's, yeah, I want to go back to, well, Trevor was missing Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, Hunter Long, 2 of his O linemen go down.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to hear it. They don't have a
Mhm.
quarterback. They're playing Davis Mills. Davis Mills is 6-23 as a starter, and 3 of those wins are against the Jaguars. And
He's an
those
NFL
from a
quarterback.
couple. But he's an NFL quarterback. And Marcus, I will say, I was listening to the radio show that Pete Prisco does with the Jaguars, and what he was saying about Trevor is the idea that Trevor doesn't work hard or doesn't know the offense or doesn't care. He goes, that's not true. Trevor cares. He knows the offense. He works really hard. You can see it. I mean, he's
Sure.
big, strong. Like, he obviously
Yeah.
works hard, and he's a tough guy. Falls down against the Chiefs, gets up, does all that.
Yeah.
My thing about Trevor is, was he going up and down the sidelines telling guys, don't rest on this lead, let's step on their necks and let's close this thing out? I wonder, was he kind of sitting there going, oh, nice, dude, we got this in the bag? I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
Well,
But
let me tell you, as somebody who was watching the game on television, something that you probably didn't see at the game
no.
is Trevor, they panned to him multiple times throughout the game, just sitting on the bench.
I don't like that at all. I really don't.
Like, don't you
like
think
that.
What would Tom Brady do? Tom Brady might sit down for a second, grab a swig, go over some plays with the coach, and then he's getting up and he's talking to his offensive line. He's hyping up the special teams, you know. And so I feel like we talk about Tom Brady a lot on this podcast because, you know, there's
the
the
gold
difference
standard,
between
man.
being a leader and then being a quarterback who is chosen to be the leader because they're the quarterback. So
Yeah. It every time so like Dak Prescott, because we're a Cowboys family as well, like Dak Prescott is such a leader out there. I mean, he's the one, he's going up and down the sideline telling his O-line, don't stop. We've got to close this thing out. Don't stop. Let's keep going. Like, I mean, one first down. We needed one first down. We needed one stop. Like, go encourage the defense. Like, something. Be the leader. But most guys are not natural leaders. I mean,
Right.
I'm not. It's something that it doesn't feel natural for a lot of people. It's natural to a Dak Prescott. It's natural to a Jalen Hurts. It's natural to a Tom Brady to hold others to a high standard. And I mean, look, again, I think on the field, there was nothing we really could have done. And all that being said, we still had a shot at a game winner for a 62-yard field goal, if not for a hands to the face.
Which I feel like he would have hit that too.
And I think he would have hit it because it was a dome. There's no wind or anything. And,
Yeah.
there was a bad pass interference on Jarian Jones, but there were bad calls that were called on the Texans as well. This stuff just, it happens. And we got bailed out by penalties as well. And
we did.
Look, there are many macro issues with the Jacksonville Jaguars. What happened on Sunday was that Texans D-line teed off.
They sure did.
Derek Stingley was shutting down whoever he was covering, and their other DBs are real good too. And that D-line got to just go at it. And I think that's what happened. And then it's quick 3 and outs. The defense is gassed. The defense is tired, and they're not good enough to be gassed and tired and play well. So it's all right, man. It happens.
They were dude. They were they went to halftime and they just crafted up something nice, man. Like they really did. They just crafted up something so sexy that they were like, oh, we'll just control the game this way for the rest, the second half. And man, did they execute. It was so impressive. It was really so impressive watching them in the second half. I was like, and everybody's, Davis Mills, who is this guy? This guy sucks, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's an NFL quarterback, okay? Like this guy, he paid his dues, and he's proven time and time again that he deserves to be out there. And, anybody in this football league can catch a wind and get hot and ride that high. And it's like, it's up to you to stand up and rise to the occasion. And they just controlled it. We didn't even have an opportunity to do it.
Yeah. I think it would be so rude to not give Davis Mills his flowers, man. He's been in the league for 4 or 5 years now. He was starting at Houston for a little bit. They drafted CJ. And by the way, no moaning and complaining. He went like, okay, I'll be the backup. I like what good self-perspective to go like, hey, being realistic here, I'm probably not an NFL starter. I'm going to go chill as the backup in beautiful Houston, Texas, make a great living, no state income tax, and I'm going to step in when I have to.
Yeah.
I'm just going to happen to play like a god for the fourth quarter against the Jaguars, unfortunately for us. But, he probably has a good understanding of the offense. He understands throw the ball to Nico Collins. That's usually a good bet. And Nico Collins was going up against Jordan Lewis and Travis Hunter. He was going up against Jarian Jones and I don't even know who our guys are. It's
right. Who's to say he hasn't been working his tail off these past few years when CJ Stroud? Did you see him run for that pylon? I mean, he looked like Josh. He looked like Josh Allen.
He looked good.
I was like, wow. I was really impressed. Really.
Another thing that happened this weekend was I got to watch some of the other games, and, one, it could be worse. I mean, look, the Bills got blown out by the Dolphins. It happens.
Isn't that crazy?
The Packers last night couldn't muster up of more than 10 points to beat the Eagles. I mean, it is ugly all over the league. Natalie will say this to me. She'll just be like, I'm watching these other games, and like everyone has the same issues. Like, I forgot what it was, but it was, oh gosh, don't remember the play, but some other team's quarterback like threw it to nobody and it got picked off, whatever. And I was like, looks like Trevor Lawrence out there. But it makes you realize, like, if you watch a game, there's ugly all over the place.
Dude, absolutely. Like we think we had it bad in the fourth quarter. How about being like a Bills fan and going down to Miami and thinking this is like a for sure win, and then you just get absolutely clobbered, and it's, stuff happens, bro. Stuff happens. So I'm still looking up. I really am, man. I really am.
So Chargers upcoming. Haven't played the Chargers since the playoff comeback. I tell you what, somebody, I forgot who it was, but they were going back to that game, and they said, so one, can we not spot them 24 points, please, to start off this game. But who were Trevor's receivers in that game, Marcus, when Trevor took over and came back?
I don't even remember.
So Evan Ingram caught the touchdown before halftime.
That's right.
Mr.
Evan Ingram was
Reliable.
there.
Mr.
Yep.
Reliable, dude. Evan Ingram made some tough catches for Trevor Lawrence. Next touchdown?
He really was. He really was reliable.
Zay Jones.
Zay Jones. Yep.
Reliable. Marvin Jones Jr., really reliable.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he was on our team.
Christian Kirk, that was Trevor's guy.
Kirk,
when he's healthy, reliable. What do those guys all have in common, Marcus?
Reliability, catching the ball. Yeah.
They're going to be at the spot that they need to be at, and they're going to catch the football. And you see what can happen when, look, Parker Washington, by the way, Parker Washington, how many weeks have we come in here after a loss and been like, Parker Washington came to play football? I don't know what the rest of you are doing. Parker Washington came to play.
For sure.
He made himself some money on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if there's a guy that we want, if we want to put a stamp on anybody on this team right now, that's the guy we want to do it to. In my
Parker
opinion.
Washington
that's
and
wide
Brenton
receiver
Strange,
2 for the next 4 or 5 years.
Parker Washington and Brenton Strange have made themselves generationally wealthy this season.
Yes. We got to get that kid back, man. We got to get him back fast.
And he can come back this weekend, and it's going to be interesting. By the way, season ended today. Jaguars are still in the playoffs. That's another thing to remember. Chargers win really helps. So what do we got? So we've got Chargers, Cardinals.
Can we still make the playoffs? What is it, like a 20-something% chance? 26
Colts
maybe?
are probably running away with the division at 7-2 or 8-2, whatever they're at.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Chargers, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets, Broncos, Colts, Titans. Let's say we split the division games, so 2-2 between those 4 games with the Colts and the Titans. Because they're division games. They're always weird, right?
Yeah.
So Chargers, probably a loss. We can beat the Cardinals. So if we lose this weekend, 5-5. Cardinals, 6-5. Titans, 7-5. Colts, 7-6. Jets, 8-6. Broncos, you watch a Broncos game lately?
I sure have.
They're not very good on offense. But guess what?
I think they're fantastic on offense.
I think they're real good, and that pass rush is going to beat us alive.
I think they're so good in second half on offense.
Yeah. Okay. So 5-5, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 8-6. Okay. So basically, it's going to be real hard to get to those 10 wins, and that 10 wins, that's when you can start getting in the playoff mix as a wild card. So it's going to be a battle, but if we can get the 2 against the Titans, if we can just please beat the Jets, get an upset. And I mean, we're looking at a 10-win team, maybe 9 or 10 wins. The problem is that we have to hope for it because we don't have a first-round pick to tank for.
Right. I mean, what are the chances that we get Strange back in the mix and we get BTJ back in the mix and things just start happening and our offense gets moving?
Yeah. Travis is gone. I think Brenton Strange changes everything. I think if Brian Thomas can catch the football, that changes everything. Get Jordan Lewis back.
Downfield.
You know, Quint, shout out, made a great point to us via text. He said, get healthy at the right time. If we can get Eric Murray back, Jordan Lewis back, Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas, get these guys back towards the end of the year. And if we can get into the playoffs with those guys healthy, you know, we can upset anybody. Like, it's a pretty wide open Super Bowl. I think the Eagles, after watching them last night, I'm like, good luck. The Eagles and the Rams look really, really good. Eagles, Rams, Seahawks look really, really good.
Seahawks for sure.
I
really do think the Broncos are in the mix, dude. I've got a feeling about the Broncos.
That defense is nasty.
I mean, I unfortunately for you saw what they did to the Cowboys on offense, and it was
yeah. It'll be interesting, man.
I know.
Ugly loss. Looking forward to this weekend, though.
It was bad. It was really bad, you know, and a lot of people are freaking out about it. And now, you know, we have good news that you heard it here first on Two in the Teal that BTJ is out for the rest of the season. The only good news part of that is that you heard it on Two in the Teal.
Travis Hunter, not BTJ. Travis Hunter out for the season. Marcus, you just gave me a panic attack. You just gave me a panic attack. I just said I thought something came through over there, and I was like, "Excuse me, huh? What?"
Not that it would probably make that much of a difference anyway with the way that he's been doing that transaction
Yeah, that
with his
transaction.
hands. It hasn't been very productive.
But hey, good things happen when we play the Chargers. Hopefully, it happens this weekend. That would really help us out. And then after that, man, it's got the Jets. We got the Titans a couple times. We do have the Colts twice still. The Broncos, hey man, the Broncos are beating a lot of teams, but every time I watch a Broncos game, I'm like, they easily could have lost that game also. Um, they barely beat the Raiders. That helps our Raiders win age a little bit better.
Sure.
Cardinals are frisky. It's a good stretch coming up here, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to getting to talk about all of it here.
This is the only place to hear about it too.
Right? Yeah.
You can't go
So
anywhere else. I mean,
no,
where are you going to
no,
go? ESPN?
no, can't.
No, they're not
FS1, they don't
talking
talk
about it.
about us on FS1. So
Nope.
yeah, man. It'd be good stuff. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll chat later this week. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do another one before the game so we can get into some of that pregame with the Chargers. Let's not do a score prediction though. I think every time we do one, we come up with a loss.
What do we know? We don't know anything. So
Yeah,
all right, everyone, have a lovely, lovely what day is it? Tuesday? All
Tuesday.
right, not bad. Okay.
Not bad at all.
Happy
We're getting
Tuesday,
somewhere.
everyone.
All right.
Let's go. Go Jags, baby.
See ya.